Peace, peace. This is your host, Selah-Shalom. And this is the Cosmon teachings in the words of Jehovah and his angel ambassadors from the Cosmon Bible, Oahspe. And the topic of discussion today is called high-ranking goddesses. Now in Oahspe, it upholds the female equal to the male, and even surpassing man in intelligence and experience throughout the cosmos. Now most religions downplay the woman, such as the Bible. If you look at some of the Hebraic tradition, some of the Islamic tradition, it really plays the woman down a lot. It puts the woman below the man instead of equal to the man. You find that a lot in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Now, when you look at the religions that came before those, you could see that the woman was revered. She was held equal with the man. And you could clearly see this in Egypt. You can see where some of the Egyptian female goddesses was deified. You can find that in Sumeria. And you could also find that in India, where it shows you female goddesses being deified prior to the advent of Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. Now, Oahspe is probably the only book that upholds the woman on the scale that it does. Jehovah in the Oahspe shows you the equality of women. So, for an example, in the book of Apollo, son of Jehovah, chapter 11, verse 2 and 9, it states, and this verse describes a female goddess being named Simead. Now, this is the same female goddess I described in the video I did called Black Extraterrestrials, Gods and Goddesses, where she was described as being dark complected. Now, verse 2, Simead was a small woman, dark, and of deep love, most jovial of goddesses, and had been looked forward with a joy to her pleasure of bringing so large a ship to deliver 2,000 million of Jehovah's brides and bridegrooms into Etheria, into the Etherian worlds. And so when the Adavasid, which is the spacecraft, was about to land in Ga, which is the name of a heavenly plateau, Siamad looked out from the clusters of central stars, the ornament of the throne within the ship, to see the hosts who were assembled beneath, and joyously clapped her hands with delight, whereupon she was saluted by Apollo and Phaegia, and by God and his lords. Verse 9, and Jehovah spoke through Siamad, saying, I blow my breath upon a corporeal world, and mortals spring forth into life, the highest of my created lights. In the womb of Ma, which is Mother Earth, I fashioned his spirit. When he is shapely and white, I deliver him. I open the heavens of suns, and warm his soul. Brighter than diamonds he cometh forth, male and female come they, as stars from my everlasting worlds, dressed as brides and bridegrooms. For the chambers of light and love, in my arms shall they be blessed forever, in my mansions rejoicing forever. So with this one verse, you can see the justice of the Creator, showing you the equality between the goddesses and the gods. Now here's another example of a female goddess coming from the book of Jehovah, having high esteem and high ranks. Book of Su, son of Jehovah, chapter 7, verse 2 through 4, it states, verse 2, so it came to pass in Etheria, the goddess Nesta provided an Aravanga, an Etherian ship, resolving to come as commander-in-chief. Su advised God, saying, make thou of this matter a great testimony in thy heavens. Send therefore thy messengers into all parts and to thy lords on the earth, inviting all people to be present to witness the ascent of Jehovah's brides and bridegrooms. Verse 3, God did as commanded, and on the day of the appearance of Nesta, the daughter of Jehovah, in her sonship, in the firmament there were assembled in Horeb countless millions of souls inspired of Jehovah. Verse 4, great was the rejoicing and the manifestations of delight when the sonship came in full view, descending like a world on fire. And when she passed Shinvat and was fully within the earth's vortex, the enthusiasm of the people knew no bounds. Verse 5. They sang and prayed and danced and clapped their hands as if mad with delight. Meantime the brides and bridegrooms had been arrayed in Etherian white, and were now saluting those whom they were soon to leave. Verse 6. Quietly the Etherian hosts fill their parts in the great play of the immortal resurrection, very gods and goddesses in demeanor. Verse 7. Nearer and nearer came Yesta, the goddess, in her sonship, slowly turning and descending, with 10,000 curtains suspended and waving, and 10 times 10,000 banners and flags waving above and around. So here again, Oahspe is showing you the ranking position of women in the cosmic order of creation. Now again, Book of Oahspe, Son of Jehovah, chapter 3, verse 30. Now this verse that I'm about to read was during the time of the sinking of Pan, 25,000 years ago, when Jehovah sent his high-raised Etherian ambassadors, gods and goddesses, to sink the continent of Pan, which was once located in the Pacific Ocean. And the highest angel that came to observe the sinking of Pan was a female goddess. Verse 31. So Phiatissa outranked all other gods and goddesses, and was special guest of honor to Oahspe, chief over all the rest. Verse 32. And the star of Phiatissa, Etherian ship, was stationed near the earth, that she might the better behold the deliverance of the spirits that were to be freed by the submersion of the land of Waga, or Pan. Some call it Lemurian Mu. And these spirits, there were upward of 24,400 million, of whom more than 300,000 million were fetals and familiars, and spirits in chaos. Now, if you want further information on this event or the sinking of Pan, you can check out the documentary I did called The Flood Account. If you go to the playlist and you look for Flood Account, you can get more detail on the information about the sinking of the continent of Pan. Now, Book of Sepin Armaj, daughter of Jehovah, chapter 1, verse 1 and 2, it states, now this female goddess was the Etherian goddess that brought in the 23rd arc cycle after the creation of mortals. And this period is around 3900 BC. And this was during the time of Abraham, Brokma, Po, and Iwata. Verse 1. Jehovah spoke to Sepin Armaj, goddess of Ha'ot Sayata, in Naravinia, in the Ark of Spita, commander of the south fields of Abron, in the Orion plains, below Tho Wichainu, of a region of 200,000 years, surveyor of Otzias, 10,000 years, leader of the Oaxen, 70,000 years, captain of Galeas, roadways in the forest of Luga, 20,000 years, founder and ruler of Isas, 30,000 years, treacher of the Hagitsets, swamps, 4,000 years, goddess of Nor, goddess of Anaga, goddess of Putu, each 10,000 years. So this verse gives this female goddess resume, showing you her experience within the cosmic order. Now the total of those years add up to 166,000 years that this particular goddess has been in service in the cosmic order. Verse 2. My daughter, behold the red star in her heavens, come thy way. She will cross the ark of Spita. 4 years and 30 days riding. Open thy fields in Abaron, and give her 40 years indulgence, for this is the first of her deliverance. Verse 3. Sepin Armaj answered, saying, I see the red star, the earth, O Jehovah. Like a wandering ship in a wide ocean, she cometh through my fields. The young earth, traveling on carefully in the roads of Silkwata. Hath she so soon, but little more than 60,000 years, overcame her enduring knots and tortures and hells. Verse 4. In thy wisdom and power, O Jehovah, I will go in person to this corporeal world. Encourage her, God and lords, for the excellent labor done. Verse 5. Jehovah said, call thy council, and proclaim from my throne the feast of the ark of Spita. Then Sepin Armaj, daughter of Jehovah, call her high council, 100,000,000 sons and daughters of Jehovah, and she ascended to her place in the midst of the throne of the Great Spirit. So again, this verse is showing you the position of these female goddesses in the cosmic order. And the ark of Spita was the name of the 23rd arc cycle after the creation of man, and she was the female goddess that brought in that arc cycle. And that arc cycle was from 3953 BC to 1553 BC. Within that time period is the 23rd arc cycle after the creation of mortals. But I just want to show you in this particular video the high-ranking position that females hold in the cosmos. Now, you will never find descriptions like this in any of your so-called holy books like the Bible or the Quran. See that? So Oahspe is giving you the justice and the respect for the female goddess in the heavenly kingdoms, being the cosmos. And with that, I'd like to say peace and blessings. Shalom.